Okay, so we're gonna change out the axle on the Prelude today, and we got a ripped boot back in the back connected to the half shaft, and we're gonna go ahead and get that pulled apart, ripped out, put a new one in, and then we're going to clean everything in the engine bay, get all the dust from sanding, any overspray, and then get this car pushed out, banking in the sun. So let's get started. Usually you would use a punch right here because it divots in, but a couple screwdrivers, that'll work. So go ahead and rip this axle nut off. Oh, awesome. This is a bigger axle nut than what we have.
Great.
We'll have to go get a different socket. Well, we're gonna go down to the store and we'll be back. Okay, we're back. We got, this is the smaller socket. We got a new one. Let's go for it. Let's try it. Alright, go step on the brakes, pause the video while we brake. Okay, so we're going to see if that can hold it while I get on this breaker bar and try to get this nut off. Alright, let's try it. I think I need a longer bar on this end. Let me see what I can find. Yeah. Name of the game is leverage. Let's try it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, make sure this fits in there. It does. Let's switch out our socket. Okay, let's give it a whirl. Jeez.
Thing is tight.
This is ridiculous.
Just turns it after we staked it in there.
Look how tight does somebody need to have this on here for us? Alright, go push on the brakes too. We'll have both of this going, the brakes in this.
Let me do something like this, put it against the tire.
Yeah, sure.
You can see it, but.
And then turn the wheel back the way you had it before because it moved.
This way?
Yeah, and hold it right there.
Okay.
Alright, here we go. Got the brakes pushed.
Yep.
And hold the steering wheel.
Yep. Dang, dude. Getting it?
No. Oh, there it goes.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous.
I just felt it move right there. Let's give it one more go. Okay, yeah, now it's going. That was like, okay. That was like 400 foot-pounds, maybe 500. That's ridiculous. You never need an axle nut that tight. Okay, here we go. Let's get some more shots on taking this thing off. All right, let's undo our
Jerry rig?
Yeah, whatever. You know, it worked, didn't
Jimmy
it?
rig?
Look,
Yeah.
see?
Seriously, that's ridiculous. I think we got new one of these nuts.
Yeah. Well, this looks fine. We'll save it for another project. We'll put the new one on now. Okay. Well, you know what? That worked. Okay. We don't need that anymore. Okay, next step, we got, we can take these off. Done with this. And if you're thinking, oh, it may have had some rust on it or something on that nut, that's why it wasn't coming off. Nope, there's no rust on here. Don't see any. Okay, so let's work on, we've got to take this shock mount out, and we have one nut underneath here with a cotter pin. Yeah, it's got the pin in it, okay. All right, well, let's work on getting that out. Let's take a look at what we got. You know what I need to get is a headlamp so I can see. Where's the headlamp? There we go.
Right there.
Yeah, take a look at this. Never know when you're going to need one of these pokers. This thing we've used so many times and so many different projects. Yeah, pushing pins out, straightening them out. It's got a, we'll try to get under here to show you, but it's got a little eye hook on it with two separate pins that come out. You just bend one of the other pins. Okay. Try to see if you can get under here. Alright, so this is the one we're talking about right here. So bend of that straight, and then you push it out the other end. Okay, so that's it on that one. Looks like somebody cut one of the ends because they're supposed to be equal length, but that's fine. It doesn't look too bad. Looks like we can reuse it. I just try to prep myself out for when I'm ready to reinstall everything. Straighten this out a little bit. That's good enough. I'll put it in the old nut so we know where it is. We got our new nut. Okay, so now we got a ball joint down here with a nut. And it's a 17 usually. Got it on the other side. Let's make sure. Yeah, it looks like this one's a 19. So we'll go ahead and take this one off with our breaker bar. Yep, pops right off. That's what you want to see on this. Alright, there's a lot of different ways to take this part off. We can hit the side of this We could hit the bottom of this to push it up, or we could use a pickle fork, which most of the time rips the boot, which we don't want to rip the boot. We don't want to mushroom the bottom of this, and we don't want to mess up the nut. So I think I have another nut we can put on the bottom of this and hit it. But we're kind of low. Let's try this first. Let's see what we got. Nope. 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 None of those worked. Okay. Nope, it doesn't like that. Well, I don't really want to use the pickle fork here because I don't want to rip this boot. Maybe I'll try to thread it and then massage it from the bottom. Here, let's try it. That pickle fork over there. Come right from this other side. Trying to ease it in there so I don't rip the boot. Boot's lifting up. It's feeling pretty good. Alright, I say we give it a whirl. Turn the steering wheel a little more for me.
Same direction I was
Same
doing before.
direction, yeah. Nope. No. Yep. Keep going. I'll tell you when to stop. Alright, I think I got it working. Let's try it. Hear the difference when it finally does break loose. Yeah, I think the boot's fine. Got a little goober, but I think it's fine. Give me that rag behind you. Alright, so now we got the shock to get out. Looks like a 14 and a 17 and a 17 end wrench. Go scrounge that up.
Here, Dad.
Alright, so you got the 17 end wrench. I need that 17 on the other side of the car. It's a socket over there, it's a silver one. I need a 14 millimeter socket as well. That's it, we'll get me a 14. Alright, so you just saw that drop down. Did you see that? How the shock dropped down? This is just a compression, so you don't have to back this nut off all the way. But it does have like a little pocket in it. So you end up, well, let's put it this way. If you're just doing a quick ball joint or something like that, you don't have to back it off all the way. But it's got like a little C-notch in the back of this shock, so you have to back it out all the way if you're going to pull the shock out of this mount. And we could probably see that once I get this bolt out. Here, there's the bolt. Okay, let me just push this down.
And if you had coilovers, you just pop that out, pop your new stuff in.
Yeah, this is the point where you do that, yeah. Okay, so let's pull this out first before I go do anything else. Wow, really? There's like a sway bar here that's directly in the way of this bolt coming out. Some genius put the bolt in this way. So I gotta pull this sway bar arm out, which has got another ball joint on it. Really?
The Civic's obviously different.
Doesn't have the sway bar in the front.
Huh.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this has been messed with, because that would be dumb to put this in that way stock. You have to rip all this apart to get to that bolt. That's dumb.
So you think an aftermarket sway bar was put in?
No, it's not aftermarket. It's somebody's messed with the shocks at one point, I would imagine, in this vehicle's life.
Huh.
Because Honda's not stupid. They're not going to do stupid stuff like that.
Watch the bumper.
Yeah, I feel it. Gotta straighten this cotter pin out. Because there's another ball joint down here, same exact as what we already took out. Just gotta straighten this, because somebody didn't cut this one, so it'll make it a little easier to get out. Alright, let's try that. These things like to just come off, so watch your face. See, that would have bashed my face. Yeah. Okay. This one got all twisted. Yeah, we'll mess with that later, I guess. We got it pretty close. All right, stick that one in that old nut. Actually, put it in the new nut. We'll put all this stuff in that one. Let's see what we got here. We got probably another 19. Yeah. All right. Let's see if I can get it loose. This one. Let's see if I can just hit the bottom of this one. Probably not. Probably gonna be like the other one. Yeah, screw it. Just pull it out. Did the other one. Oh, so this boot's ripped on this side too, as well as the inside. That's why it's leaking so bad.
You think that's where oil leaks from?
It's part of it, but there is some wetter material up here. So it might be from...
That's the oil pan right there?
Yeah, that's the oil pan.
Nothing in there?
Well, I got a drip back there, so... Possible. But we'll see. Obviously, we got gravity we're working with, so... I don't know where to start looking at stuff. I guess I'll see. Try to do it without getting into the ball joint here. I don't know if it's going to work. Bouncing probably because I have the other one loose. Let's see. I guess I'll take it from the other side. Same thing, I'm just easing it on so I don't rip the boot. And let's try it. Okay, so now we got both those released. Let's take a look at what we got now. Alright, so that one just comes off. So that's a solid ball joint on that end. And then this one is... Now let's try this.
That's what you're trying to take out the bolt in there?
Yeah. That's it. Hammer. Okay. Okay. That's the bolt we were working with in there. Okay, so now we're all loose. Just gotta free this shock out. Get it out of our way. Let's see, go behind it. All right, so yeah, go behind the shock and pull it straight up. All right, so now we're loose on everything. We should just be able to pull everything out.
And then get to the axle. Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about now.
There's our
Wow, that is
axle.
pretty bad. Oh my gosh. It's gushing.
Just pull it straight out, but I'm not going to because this is a good rebuild right here. We could rebuild this. I guess there was a little surface rust on there with that bolt, so I was wrong about that. Okay, that's fine. What's wrong with being wrong?
Yeah, wow. It definitely did need to be replaced. Look at that crap.
Trying to pull this boot back down on the sway bar ball joint. Okay, gotta push the boot up on it. Oh, we'll get that in a minute. All right, so now we're back to this pickle fork, okay? And we're tracing it back to this half shaft, but in this case, we're straight into the ATTS unit with this guy. So let's think of this. Let me see if I can get at it under here. See what we got. Might need this crowbar. We'll see what we got in here.
I know, I wonder what's wrong with that ATTS system.
It's probably just a sensor.
So now it's basically just the base Prelude.
Yeah. It's gotta be a little harder to pull it out. I can't get a grip on this and any leverage.
Or do you need to jack it up higher?
No, it's definitely goobering me up though. I should have put gloves on. I'll just pull this out.
Man, that's really gunked up.
I don't want to get it all over my area. I'm just gonna grab another couple rags.
Yep.
Let's see if I can pull this out with my hands. What'd you do? Get a new one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we got a box full of dirty ones over there.
Where's this box?
Outside,
Oh.
by that desk, you goose.
Oh, that's right.
Alright, so there's a little pin, a little clip that you can hear it moving probably. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. They can hear it.
Let's see.
That's it? We just put that in there?
Yeah.
Huh. After all that.
Well, this is what we're working with on this other side. And can't see it, but there's a little cutaway on the inside, and it's where a little washer would sit and expand and then hold it in there. So basically what I gotta do is I gotta give it enough force outwards to squish that washer down so I can pull it out. Let's see here. Get this in there. Oh yeah, okay. There we go.
Oh, that's first try.
First try, Batman status, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, So that's,
oh wow, that's crazy in there.
that's our piece here. And then, yeah, if you could see in there, there's a little ring. See that ring?
Yeah.
Moving it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we can do is, why don't you go get another couple rags and we'll wipe that housing down before we pop the new one in. Get that tape on the fog lights we gotta pull off too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is one of those solenoids right here that can go bad. It's definitely just all this grease right here. You can see that's the grease from the axle. So we'll get this clean, and we'll have a better idea of what's leaking. Probably just valve cover, honestly. That's the main culprit most of the time. They get all crusty because of the heat, and then they just start leaking. So we'll get that order, get that changed out. We'll get the rest of that with the pressure washer. All right, so then we just reverse that process. Now, you don't ramrod this in there. You gotta make sure you get it on the splines. Okay, ease it in, and then once you feel like you got it in there, then you give it a couple hits. You can give it a couple more once you get it fully all reassembled, and make sure you got a good seat on it, like this. Watch. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this back in. Same thing with this. Don't shut this. Kind of. Make sure all the splines line up. I got dirty back here too. Okay, let's try this again. All right, up high enough. There it goes. I'll never want to force it. All right, now we'll go like this. It's bottoming out.
Did you force it?
Put your hand in there, feel it. Feels good to me. Yep. Okay. That's still good in there.
I'm gonna put that piece back in, right?
Get it,
Are you hand tight?
so it doesn't pop out when I'm gonna move all this other stuff around. Like just on a little bit, because I gotta pick this up.
And pop this piece back in.
Put it in the ball joint. Okay.
Okay.
That's more oil. Grease.
Imagine if this was 4-wheel steer.
Yeah.
That'd be way difficult.
Another freaking bar.
Yep.
Gonna take off. Okay, and then we got this other sway bar link. Okay. So then that was the sway bar. Okay, nothing gets cranked down yet. Just hand tight. Or not even hand tight, just kind of threaded on there a couple. Okay, so now we got these guys, bolt nut, okay? That's for our suspension piece, which in this case is our shock connection to our knuckle, spindle, whatever you want to refer to this guy as. All right, so same way you took it off, put it back on. So, okay, you can kind of see it here. There's a little notch right there. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
And that's where this bolt comes in here. And it provides like a nub, so it can't, the shock can't bounce out of that. Yeah, you can see probably on the back, right here, there's a notch for that bolt, right where my finger is. Okay, so let's reverse this. So this goes over your axle, and you would think, oh, now is a good time to put in your bolt. Nope, it is not. It is not, because your shock is, well, especially if they're stock, they're under a lot of pressure. So
birds crapping on the roof.
get it in the boot. Okay, put your little one in. Make sure it's in the right spot, and you can know that by this. Okay, so you can see how you can't pull it out all the way. That's your safety feature. So go ahead and push it up all the way, tighten it up. Okay. That's it. Now we've got to get, I can do it by hand. Usually, sometimes you got to do another jack. Depends on how much shock pressure you got going. So we're going to install this bolt the correct way. So when we do coilovers, we don't have to take this sway bar link off again. So the bolt goes this way. Okay. And to tighten it down, you just put your end wrench on the nut. It's a 17. Get your socket. And there's that 1/2-inch ratchet. Is it over there by that case? Why don't you grab that?
Ratchet? Wait, hold on.
There's a 1/2-inch ratchet over there. Go grab that. There you go. Give it a final couple cranks with breaker bar here. You can get on this nut side, kind of do the same thing. Give it a couple. And now we do the same thing on these ball joints down here, and then we'll do the axle nut last, and that's it. This one's done. It's about there. Okay, let's do this.
What time is it? Okay, my class starts in a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's fine. Another big thing that I didn't go over when you're replacing this, and you have a vehicle like this that has the ABS sensors on it, you have to get the replacement axles that have the ABS rings on them. We'll take a look at the old one here. have to do tight, and then a pull more, and then I'll go under here and I'll look. An eighth turn more. Anyways, I'll go under here and I'll look for these pin locations, and I'll have to turn it a little more anyways. So, just take a look at what we got here. Get all our tools staged up. Okay. Oh yeah, there's that. You can see that. This little ring here.
The notched one?
Yeah, this right here. That's the ABS ring. So there's a magnet, which is the sensor, and that picks up the movement from that, and that's why it has the dips in it, so it can tell the speed. And some models it can lock up your whole axle and help with the braking, is kind of like the main purpose of it. Just lining up the hole now for that cotter pin. Try to get this boot back down too. Kind of didn't really get it. I don't know if I'll use a pick for that. We got this other one. Pretty good. Yeah, I think that looks good. Alright, here's our two pins. Okay, so that one's in. Check this one. And I gotta flatten that one a little more. Or actually, let's see what these guys did over here. Make it a little easier on us. Alright. Yeah, I just cut off a little bit so I can shove it back in there easier. It's probably what happened before. Alright, so then that's in. Now I can get bent over. You pull on them a little bit too while you're bending them over, that way they're not rattling. Hit it in a little bit. Alright, yep. Bend this in a little bit. Same thing with the, I said earlier, with the punch tool. A lot easier with a punch tool. Who knows where mine are right now. That's enough. Just don't want it. You just want to keep it from spinning. Alright, let's pop this tire rim back on. Pick it up. Pick it up. Got it. Alright. jack it up a little. Jack it up a little. Okay. Stay right on there. Come on. There you go. So yeah, so when you start tightening this, you go to the star pattern. I'm just doing it hand right now. Okay.
Put it down.
Yep.
Oh, could that mess with the alignment?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Nope, we didn't mess with the tie rod in.
Okay.
And now I just do this. Hand tight and then some. Don't over tighten just sitting on one though. You're kind of getting it tight and then moving on to the next one. So that's tighter than a tire shop's gonna do it. I mean, good or bad, you can weigh your pros and cons on that, because we're gonna go check this other side over here and you'll see what I'm talking about, because it's gonna be loose. I think they only torque it to around 80 foot-pounds. What the heck, really?
I think it's just on one tire.
Yeah, it should be
two.
one on each.
It's not on each? Ah, you know what?
I'm missing one on that one.
Huh.
That's pretty weird. Huh. Yeah.
Great.
Yep, see, we got a little bit of room.
They probably thought the same thing in the tire shop unless they took it off. Probably not, but.
I doubt it. Nope. Nope, they took it off. Same thing, just not over tightening. Star pattern. That's good. Okay. All right, well.
That's it for the day, right?
That's our axle change out on the driver's side. SH. It's a little different with the base model because there's a half shaft in between the transmission and the driver axle. Same basic concept. Has a spline coming out of the half shaft. So it's the same axle. Okay, see you next time.